Welcome to Richmond's Place Homestead. I'm Matt. Today we're going to continue on with the garden. We're going to take care of a few chores this morning. And I look forward to working on the garden. One note, I got half the lawn mowed yesterday. Looks good when it's mowed. But man, do we got the dandelions. Yeah, first things first, we gotta let the chickens out. Get upset if I don't let them out and feed them. So I'm gonna go get yourself a cup of coffee and I'm gonna take care of these chickens. Okay, we got the trash out. Chickens are fed, scratches down. Some of the chickens are awake and having a good time. Look at them go. They love that scratch. We still have a few other chickens that are sleeping in. Got my cup of coffee this morning. One thing I have not mastered yet is carrying the camera, my coffee, and trying to open and unlock doors. We're getting better though. I tell you what a beautiful morning it is. We're here in Michigan. I don't know, well, today's going to be in the 80s. One of the things that I want to talk about today is the materials that we're using for this project. One of the viewers asked me if I would explain who, what, when, why, and how. Last year we planted a garden, and the garden was a good garden, don't get me wrong, but we had a lot of weeds. And again, go back to, I don't like weeds. My wife likes them for medicinal purposes, but yeah, I don't like pulling them. So we invested some money in some fabric. We've seen the fabric at Home Depot, we've been to Ace, we've been to Menards. And then we looked online as well. And there was another channel who recommended this stuff from Grower Solutions. So we bought it, and I've since been comparing it to what's available in the stores. I could tell you from what I've noticed is the stuff is more durable, thicker, should last way longer, and I'm expecting it will probably do a better job than what you're going to buy out of the big box stores. Another thing I wanted to point out was these staples. This is what's available if you go to the big box stores. They're pretty small, flimsy, and when you try to drive them in, they tend to bend, give way. This is what comes from Grower Solutions. It's big, it's thick, and I promise you, it's gonna hold down whatever you got. We have some high winds that come through here, and this seems to hold the fabric down. This does not. I went to the big box store to buy this because I ran out of these. I should have just waited, ordered them online instead of purchasing these, because I ended up going back and putting these in. We had some winds come through, lifted these out, did not lift these out. So, I mean, you can do what you want, but I'm telling you, Grower Solutions, we don't have an affiliation with them. They're not a sponsor. They don't give us any money. We don't get any free stuff from them. I could tell you, just based on my experience, good quality stuff. I wouldn't buy it anywhere else. Again, that was Growers Solutions. And we're also buying our drip. We also bought our drip irrigation through them because last year moving sprinklers around and pulling 600 feet of hose around the yard. Yeah, that was a horrible experience. So putting in drip irrigation, so all I gotta do is turn the faucet on and we're watering plants. Way easier than pulling sprinklers around, moving it 6 times a day, making sure you shut it off at night. This is way better. We're going to put the drip irrigation system in. We're planning on putting it on a timer so we don't even have to come out and turn it on. Secondly, the cattle panel that we buy. I mean, you can buy it at Tractor Supply. We bought ours at Family Farm and Home. I believe you can buy it from Rural King. Great stuff. We use it as a trellis for our plants to climb up, and we also use it as a fencing to keep the animals out. T-post. I can't say enough about T-posts. I don't care where you buy it from. T-posts are awesome. A great tool. They're great for putting up fencing. It allows you to hang whatever you want on them. I mean, they're just, yeah, that's a must-have. And it's an investment. You're going to invest one time and you're going to have them for years. Same thing with the cattle panel. You're going to invest it and you're not going to have to replace it for 15 years. Good stuff. And so those two things I wanted to expound upon. The other, because we didn't fence anything in last year. We did use the cattle panel to grow our plants on. This year we're fencing in because we had an animal issue. I mean, you all heard of like road rage. Well, I had like garden rage. So I went out to the corn. That was probably late July, and I couldn't find one single good ear of corn. Between the deer, the raccoons, the groundhogs, they decimated the corn. In fact, the corn, if you went in to the middle of it, looked like a big crop circle. The deer had laid down in it, created a bedding. They were going in there at night. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, shame on me. So when I couldn't find a good ear of corn, I instant went into garden rage, got on my lawnmower, and I mowed all the corn down. Halfway through it, Rebecca came out. Oh Lord, I was in trouble for a few days. She couldn't believe that I mowed down the corn. I wish I had shown her that she couldn't find a good ear of corn in there. The animals had, taken a couple bites out of it. That was it. The raccoons and groundhogs, they'll bend the stalks down. They'll get what they want off of it, and then they'll come back up. The deer, they just kind of mosey through, so yeah, not good. And then we had, I don't know, there was three holes, big holes, back just behind the corn, where the groundhogs had been pulling corn into this hole. These holes were full of corn, ears of corn. Yeah, so we're gonna try to minimize the animals this year, using the cattle panel, not just as a trellis, but we're going to use the cattle panel as a deterrent to keep the animals out. we're going to set some live traps as well. Try to rid ourselves of the groundhogs, the possums. We've got it all here, raccoons. So hopefully we'll have a better year this year. So last year animals were bad for our garden. Weeds were horrible. They still sapped a lot of energy. And it was hard to find the fruits, and climbing through all that was horrible. And when we have a garden this size, we found we could not keep up with the weeding. This black stuff, it's called a woven fabric. It works, seems to be working great. I don't have any weeds coming up through it. Plants seem to be happier, so hopefully we'll get a bigger output from our plants. And then the drip irrigation, this way we're not weeding the we're not irrigating the weeds. We're just going to irrigate the plants, so should save us some time and energy. Just wanted to point those things out this morning because we had a viewer asking, and so today, now back to today's plans. We're going to extend that fence out today and square it off to the other fence. We'll at least get the woven fabric down, and maybe the T-post in today. Later this weekend we'll get the cattle panel, and then we'll get that put up. Okay, we have our lines down now, so we know where we're going to rototill. I'll show you what we got, and then we're going to head on to the rototilling. So I got my pathway for our rototiller. This way we try to keep it as straight as possible. This here is going to be our gateway. And you'll see what I'm talking about. So we'll have a gate to enter this all the way down. And then we've decided to go 8 feet off of this row here with a line all the way down, and everything to the right side, which would be the south side of the line, we are going to plant, I think, mostly gourds. Rebecca will figure that out though, because that's her thing. She's the planter. Here we are, at the end of another day. We made a lot of progress. We'll show you what we've done so far, and we'll continue on again tomorrow. This is a lot of work. But we've got the rest of our row is been put in place. We'll trim all the fabric up here after we get the cattle panel up. We got T-post in, so this goes all the way down to the other fence. We brought the park bench down. So all this has been tilled. We've got the woven fabric down. We got the soil's been fertilized. and the T-post in. We just got to put up the cattle panel. Then here, I started tilling. Got the first couple passes done. We'll get the rest of this tilled up tomorrow. It's going to be sweet when it's done. It is a lot of work. At the same time, it's satisfying. I think once the hard work's done and over with, everything's planted, we'll be a lot happier. The fruits of our labor will start coming in. We will most certainly be looking forward to it. Thank you for watching. If you like these videos, please subscribe, like, share them. God bless, and have a wonderful day.